Hi, I'm Michael, and this is California. And right now, a lot of people who had gotten laid off during the pandemic across America are having to make a tough choice to decide whether to accept a job offer from their previous job to go back to work, even while the pandemic is starting to come back, or to stay on unemployment and wait it out. The answer to this question is going to vary wildly depending on a person's age, health condition, and type of work they do. Additionally, another aspect that a person should take into consideration is whether or not the state will allow them to refuse work and still receive their unemployment benefits. So today we are going to discuss what are some important things to consider if you are on unemployment and you are given the opportunity to go back to work, but are thinking about turning it down. Also, how you may be able to go back to work and still get some of your unemployment benefits. Now, before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. First, let's briefly talk about unemployment benefits. So unemployment insurance is a government-mandated insurance that is funded by the taxes specifically paid by our employers. So they pay into the system every time we get our paycheck. And this insurance is meant to provide some income to employees in the case they are laid off out of no fault of their own, like in the case of maybe a lockdown. So it doesn't generally apply to people who quit or get fired from their jobs. Now, the amount of unemployment that you can receive is based on the amount of money that you made while you were working. So normally, the more money you make while you're working, the higher your unemployment benefits will be. But there are some limits to how much money you're able to receive through unemployment. So for example, here in California, the limit is $450 a week. But with additional $600 a week from temporary programs like the PUA, it is possible for some people to earn as much as $1,050 a week. Normally, one of the main requirements to continue receiving unemployment benefits is that you must be actively looking for work as well as not turn down any suitable opportunities to work. Now, one complication is that there is no federal unemployment administration, and each state has their own unemployment agency. That can mean there are different rules and regulations from each different state. This being the case, here in California, the Unemployment Administration has released guidance regarding when a person is able to continue unemployment even if they are not looking for work and are offered suitable work opportunities. In most cases, simply being concerned about the pandemic is not enough to justify to unemployment that you should still get your unemployment benefits even though you are refusing work. Now, according to the California Unemployment Insurance Guidance, if somebody marks on their unemployment recertification paperwork that they did refuse any work that was offered to them, it will automatically trigger an eligibility interview with an unemployment agency worker. Now, there are some things that the unemployment agency should and do take into consideration when trying to figure out if a job you refused it was suitable or not. One of the biggest things they will consider is your age and health conditions. So somebody who has high risk factors, like being in a high risk age group, usually 65 years or older, or immunocompromisation, or having certain health conditions like heart disease or lung disease or diabetes, these will all be taken into consideration when trying to figure out if the job you have been offered is safe and suitable for you. Now, in general, a person is disqualified from unemployment benefits if they refuse suitable work. But if they review your situation and your conditions and find that the job that was offered to you could be a substantial health risk, they are able to make a decision about if you have legitimate reasons to have refused that work. And in this case, you may be able to continue on your unemployment benefits until another more suitable job comes along. Also, as a side note, if your employer is willing to allow you to telecommute or work from home and you still refuse, this could cause you to lose your unemployment benefits. Another potential situation would be if you were furloughed from work during the first wave of the pandemic and now your employer would like you to return to work, but you are concerned about going back to work because of the rising second wave of the pandemic. Again, if a person refuses to accept a suitable job offer and they don't have any health conditions that could put them at a higher risk, then they may lose their unemployment benefits. According to the California Unemployment Guidance, if your place of work is reopening and has done all the extra safety requirements requested by the state, even if you don't feel like your job is safe enough for you, your unemployment benefits could be stopped. The last situation is for somebody who would like to refuse to go back to work because they're making more money on unemployment than they would going back to work. Now again, if you're offered suitable work and you decline, then your unemployment benefits can be stopped, regardless if it's more or less than what you are making on unemployment. But if the position that they are offering to you is asking you to come back for wages that are considerably less than the same position at a different job, this could be a justifiable reason that you can refuse to take that position and still continue on your unemployment benefits. On the other hand, it is possible for someone to go back to work and still receive some or most of their unemployment benefits. This is the case in a situation where if you return to work but only part-time. This is because for part-time work, unemployment will only reduce your unemployment benefit by only a portion of the money that you earn. So for example, unemployment does not count the first $25 or 25% of your wages as earned income. So they will not deduct this portion of your earned income from your unemployment benefits. So in the case where you made $100 a week, they would not count the first $25 against your unemployment benefits. So this would mean that they would only count $75 as income, which would be reduced from your weekly unemployment benefit. But if you were receiving $450 a week, that would mean you would now be getting $375 a week from unemployment benefits, in addition to the $100 that you earn from work on top of the $600 PUA money that you might still be receiving. So in this way, it is actually possible to continue to stay on unemployment and work and actually get paid a little bit more than you would if you were just on unemployment. Overall, whether you decide to go back to work or not go back to work, or maybe just work part-time, there's not necessarily a right decision, just a decision that fits your situation. While it may make sense for one person to go back to work, it may not be the right decision for you. But just be cognizant that if you refuse a work opportunity and the job is suitable, then it may affect your eligibility for unemployment benefits. Thank you so much for watching our videos, and I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. We love to see your comments and questions, and we'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Now finally, we here at California, we know health insurance. So whether it's private health insurance or Covered California or Medicare or Medicaid or Medi-Cal, or even health insurance for a small group, we know health insurance. Because I know it can be very complicated sometimes coming out of your work insurance and going on the private side. Or maybe you're turning 65 and you're trying to figure out what are the best Medicare options that fit your needs as well as your budget. Or perhaps you're coming out of a government program like Medicaid or Medi-Cal, and now you have to find health insurance on the private side. We can help with all those different situations. So if you have questions about your healthcare, put them down below. We'll be happy to make a new video or a new post for that as well. Now, other than that, I am Michael, and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.